Superfood Evolution presents Alfalfa sprouts, best quality to consume for highest health benefits. Alfalfa sprouts are one of the original sprout varieties, largely popularized in the 1970s with the Western health food movement. Since this time, they have been the world's most familiar type of sprout to consume on sandwiches, wraps, salads, and incorporated into healthy restaurant menus. Being very easy to grow and mass-produce, they are one of the few sprouts found in common everyday grocery stores. Typically grown vertically and sold in small square containers or larger flats, they are a living, enzyme-rich food that can be easily incorporated into the diet or interchanged periodically with other sprout favorites. Most people enjoy the sprouted seeds of alfalfa, particularly for their delicious, mild, nutty flavor and crunchy texture that goes well with most foods. For those specifically looking to improve their diet, alfalfa sprouts can be an energizing place to start. Many who follow a raw vegan diet also find that the benefits of sprouts, like alfalfa, help to round out one's nutritional intake, adding extra amounts of protein and other phytonutrients. Alfalfa sprouts are naturally abundant in antioxidants, saponins, and certain plant compounds such as coumestrol, and like other legumes, are a known source of phytoestrogens, particularly the polyphenol coumestrol. Both high in fiber and alkaline in nature, eating more sprouts on a regular basis can be an excellent digestive adjunct for heavier rich foods like meat proteins, fats, oils, and dairy products. Likewise, they are a worthy addition to raw meals or atop cooked foods for added enzyme content. These mentioned beneficial attributes, plus the chlorophyll content, also make the sprouts a cleansing as well as nutritious food source. What are alfalfa sprouts? Alfalfa sprouts are the young, double-leaf seedlings of the alfalfa plant, Metacogos sativa. Also called lucerne, alfalfa is a perennial species of the pea family, Fabaceae. Grown since ancient times, it is an agriculturally efficient food crop, highly utilized as a livestock foraging food source, as well as dried like hay for animal feed. It is commonly cultivated as a cover crop for its nitrogen-fixing attributes and ability to improve the fertility of the soil. Mature dried alfalfa leaf and powder is additionally used by herbalists and frequently consumed as a nutritive tea high in vitamins and minerals, but is also available as a dietary supplement in the form of capsules or compressed tablets. Alfalfa sprouts, although originating from the mature alfalfa plant, are created by germinating the small legume-like seeds that actually resemble tiny dry beans upon close observation. After soaked and sprouted over a 3 to 7 day period of time, long, leggy white sprouts developed with two small leaves that will continue to green with adequate lighting. The sprouts grow between 2 to 6 inches high and are often dehulled in the later stages by soaking briefly in pure water to remove most of the hulls. These are thin shafts or skins that surround the seed and attach to the end of the sprout leaves. Growing alfalfa sprouts. Alfalfa sprouts are relatively easy to grow all year long in most any indoor living space. They are perfect for urban city dwellers when outdoor gardens are less of an option. The seeds themselves have a long shelf life and are extremely cost-effective when purchased by the pound. We highly recommend always using high-quality, raw, non-GMO organic seeds to avoid some of the food safety issues associated with conventionally grown sources, which we will discuss further along in this video. Alfalfa sprouts nutrition. Contains coumestrol, a dietary phytoestrogen. Clover sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, and pea shoots are all high in a substance known as coumestrol, a phytoestrogen that belongs to a class of chemical compounds known as coumestrans. Dietary phytoestrogens come from three distinct categories: the lignans, the isoflavonoids, or the coumestrans, all of which are predominant in the legume family. Phytoestrogens, or plant estrogens, like coumestrol, are found in many commonly eaten seeds, grains, and beans, as well as a variety of medicinal herbs used to treat female reproductive disorders. According to Wikipedia, Dietary estrogens are a diverse group of naturally occurring, non-steroidal plant compounds that, because of their structural similarity with estradiol, have the ability to cause estrogenic and/or anti-estrogenic effects by sitting in and blocking receptor sites against estrogen. Interestingly, in a Cornell University program studying phytoestrogens' effects on breast cancer risk, they were described accordingly. Working as estrogen mimics, phytoestrogens may either have the same effects as estrogen or block estrogen's effects. Which effect the phytoestrogen produces can depend on the dose of the phytoestrogen. The phytoestrogen can act like estrogen at low doses, but block estrogen at high doses. There is some controversy in the holistic health and medical community about the topic of phytoestrogens and their effect on the endocrine hormonal system. While we would agree that phytoestrogens are not appropriate for all people and should be largely avoided by women with hormone receptor-positive breast cancers, fibroid, or tumor growth, phytoestrogens like resveratrol, quercetin, and coumestrol have been shown to be health-enhancing, disease-fighting substances. Scientific research is furthermore exploring the consumption of phytoestrogen-rich foods and their nutritional benefits for improving bone density as well as maintaining good cholesterol levels, potentially offering protective results for a number of related conditions such as osteoporosis and cardiovascular disease. Current studies also suggest that dietary phytoestrogens may provide chemopreventive properties and anti-carcinogenic effects. In a study published in the International Journal of Cancer, analyzing coumestrol's effects as an anti-carcinogen, it was stated that our results show, for the first time, a reduced risk for gastric cancer associated with higher consumption of several polyphenols, including the cinnamic acids, secoisolaricorizinol, and coumestrol. Another 2013 study showed that coumestrol exerted strong inhibition effects on the growth of 3 cancer cell lines. Consuming plant-based estrogenic foods like alfalfa sprouts and other legumes are commonly recommended to menopausal women to reduce hot flashes and normalize endocrine functions. Another beneficial component to dietary phytoestrogens is that they help to combat the effects of xenoestrogens, hormonal disruptors produced from toxic, man-made chemicals that pollute our water, air, and foods. While xenoestrogens can bind to estrogen receptor sites, when phytoestrogens already occupy the site, the xenoestrogenic compound is neutralized and unable to attach. Research on anti-inflammatory effects. In the Journal of Biomedical Sciences, a study analyzing the inhibitory effects of alfalfa sprouts on lipopolysaccharide-induced inflammation, it was concluded that this study demonstrated that alfalfa sprouts extract and ethyl acetate significantly suppresses serum production of pro-inflammatory cytokines and increases survival in lipopolysaccharide-challenged mice. A cleansing, enzyme-rich food high in fiber. One of the great benefits to eating different types of sprouts is their high enzyme content. These enzymes are also found in fresh raw fruits and vegetables, as well as fermented foods. They are very helpful for breaking down the foods we eat into usable nutrients and aid in the processing of undigested waste material. Seeds release a significant amount of enzymes at the beginning stages of the plant's growth, after the sprout is formed and the first set of leaves have developed. According to the book Conscious Eating, some have estimated that the enzyme content is 10 times greater at this 1¼ inch sprouting stage. Sprouts, like alfalfa, assist in activating the immune system and are cleansing to the body. Their chlorophyll-rich leaves are especially effective at removing toxins from the cells and lymphatic system. They are also high in dietary fiber, which promotes healthy bowel movements and digestive functions. Sprouting increases protein and nutrient content. Alfalfa sprout seeds are first soaked and rinsed to remove enzyme inhibitors and also to help initiate germination. As the seed is nutritionally activated through the process of sprouting, it begins to break down starches into simpler carbohydrates, fats into fatty acids, and proteins into amino acids. This in effect makes these nutritional components more bioavailable to us when we consume them. Alfalfa sprouts are known to contain as much as 35% protein, and, like other sprouted seeds, provide an increase in total amino acid content when the seed is sprouted. Most people don't think of certain foods, like leafy green vegetables or sprouts, to be high in protein, but in actuality, there are good supplemental sources of plant-based amino acids. Although not quite as protein-rich as other superfoods like spirulina and hemp proteins, sprout varieties like pea shoots, mung bean sprouts, clover, radish, and alfalfa are considerably high in protein content, averaging about 1.5 to 3 grams of protein per 1 cup serving. Being a member of the pea family, alfalfa sprouts form from their tiny little bean-shaped seeds, and while they are not a complete protein, they do provide a number of amino acids such as threonine, isoleucine, leucine, and lysine. For optimal protein intake from alfalfa sprouts, it is best to consume them raw as opposed to cooked. High heat is known to destroy protein and reduce the amount available when ingested as a food source. Other beneficial nutrients. Based on a 2,000 calorie diet, 1 cup of the sprouted seeds of alfalfa are reported by nutritional data to contain 13% the RDA for vitamin K, 5% for vitamin C, and 1% for vitamin A. The sprouts are comprised of a number of B vitamins like riboflavin, folate, niacin, thiamine, pantothenic acid, and vitamin B6. Along with trace amounts of certain minerals such as copper, manganese, calcium, iron, and zinc, alfalfa sprouts are also a source of omega fatty acids, with a 1 cup serving providing 57.8 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids and 77.2 milligrams of omega-6 fatty acids. Alfalfa sprouts and potential L-canavanine content. Alfalfa seeds are known to contain a controversial plant compound called L-canavanine, or canavanine, which has received mixed reviews about its potential toxicity and/or benefits to humans when consumed in large amounts. This is because L-canavanine, in older research, has been linked with an autoimmune condition in primates known as systemic lupus erythematosus. In the 1982 edition of American Journal of Kidney Disease, the study reported that ground alfalfa seeds were given to primates, while at the same time the magazine Science reported that the monkeys were fed actual alfalfa sprouts. This is conflicting information as there is a big difference between the two. The amount of canavanine in alfalfa sprouts is significantly less compared to the actual seed, which mostly serves as a growth inhibitor and a defense against natural predators. When the seed is sprouted, much of the canavanine is neutralized because it is no longer needed to protect it. Moreover, in a study reported in the journal entitled Nutrition and Metabolism, evidence indicated that dietary L-canavanine in fact increases longevity in mice. It was additionally stated in this published study that these were serendipitous findings during a project designed to explore the mechanism of diet-induced autoimmunity. Ironically, no positive ANAs, anti-nuclear antibodies, or anti-ssDNA or anti-dsDNA titers found in those with systemic lupus erythematosus were detected in these mice as a result of canavanine treatment. Many health experts believe that the L-canavanine is considerably neutralized after 7 days of sprouting, especially after fully developed leaves are produced. The canavanine content is additionally thought to vary considerably from different select strains of the Precautions sativa species. Sprouts with seeds and hulls attached are also noted to contain more L-canavanine by volume. They can, however, be submerged in water, which allows the hulls to float to the top, where they can be easily removed. You must ultimately do your own research and come to your own conclusions if you are at all concerned about potential L-canavanine toxicity. An important fact to consider, however, is that alfalfa sprouts have been consumed on a large scale for over 40 years by the general population with positive results, earning their reputation as a health-enhancing and nourishing food source. Alfalfa sprouts and the food safety controversy. Alfalfa sprouts, and raw sprouts in general, have received a lot of negative media attention regarding their safety for human consumption. This started way back in the mid to late 1990s when the U.S. Food and Drug Administration issued a warning to the general public not to consume raw sprouts because of reported contamination of pathogenic bacteria, chiefly Salmonella and Escherichia coli. This was the result of a multi-state outbreak of E. coli infections that occurred in the United States from the consumption of alfalfa sprouts. It was later discovered that the actual seeds themselves were the source of contamination and traced back to one common lot harvested in Idaho. When contaminated seeds are used, the sprout incubation process can further multiply these toxic substances. Both Salmonella and E. coli are pathogenic strains of bacterium that are mainly transferred to foods through small particles of fecal matter that usually come from domesticated livestock or fertilizers used on seed-producing crops. These seeds, especially alfalfa and clover, are not necessarily intended to be used to grow sprouts, but are, according to the FDA, frequently used to grow the plant as an agricultural commodity. Many small-scale organic sprout companies dispute that these pathogens exclusively infect non-organic conventionally grown seeds, which have a different set of criteria for using cow-based manure on food crops. These businesses, as well as many health-conscious sprout growers, argue that organic alfalfa seeds have never been associated with foodborne illnesses, and that this is solely a result of traditional, large-scale commercial cultivation methods. According to the Organic Farming Research Foundation, organic standards set strict guidelines on manure use in organic farming. Either it must be first composted or it must be applied at least 90 days before harvest, which allows ample time for a microbial breakdown of pathogens. From our personal experience growing and consuming sprouts for over 25 years, we have never once experienced any type of food poisoning or gastrointestinal sickness after eating sprouts. We always use high-quality organic sprouting seeds and do not use any kind of manure to grow microgreens or other trace sprouts that require a soil medium. Seed sanitation. In response to foodborne illnesses associated with raw sprout consumption, the FDA began to advise a seed disinfection treatment using chlorine bleach, a known carcinogen, which kills all bacteria but also makes the seed less viable for sprouting. Today, most high-quality sprouting seeds that are certified organic are not bleached, but tested for pathogenic microbes before the sprouting process, just as a precautionary measure to ensure public safety. Some commercial and home-based sprout growers also add vinegar, food-grade hydrogen peroxide, or grapefruit seed extract to the water when soaking or rinsing the seeds, a technique you may wish to employ if you have concerns about this issue. Purchasing alfalfa sprouts and sprouting seeds. It is best to consume organically grown sprouts and avoid commercially produced non-organic sprouts or seeds for the reasons previously mentioned. We highly recommend growing your own alfalfa sprouts for quality control as well as the highest amount of beneficial nutrients. When growing alfalfa sprouts, we advise using organic seeds that have been tested for germination rate and purity. To guarantee freshness and viability, it is helpful to buy them in sealed airtight bags. 1-pound bags are also considerably more cost-effective than buying smaller quantities. We always store all our sprout seeds in glass mason jars to ensure longevity. Some seeds, especially alfalfa and clover, tend to go rancid if not sealed appropriately. Generally, the shelf life for alfalfa is about 4 years when stored in a cool, dark, dry location. Bulk seeds are great to have as a potential survival food and can literally supply pounds of fresh living produce ready to sprout most any time of the year. How to use. Alfalfa sprouts are traditionally consumed raw in salads, but can also be used as a replacement for lettuce in vegetable salad recipes. They have a mild flavor that goes well with savory foods and are delicious when served as appetizers with seed cheeses and sauerkraut. Their texturally pleasing qualities combine well in wraps, sandwiches, and nori rolls. When creating sprout salad mixes, their neutral taste blends well with other spicy sprouting seed varieties like broccoli, radish, and onion sprouts. They can be used as a garnish with most any raw or cooked meal, providing added nutrients and living enzymes. Precautions. When sprouts are grown inappropriately, they can be contaminated with mold, which is especially detrimental to those with mold allergies. It is important to purchase commercially grown sprouts from a trusted organic source that takes precautionary steps to guard against mold and/or uses organically grown seeds to help prevent potential salmonella and E. coli contamination. Thanks for watching. And for more on other types of sprouts, visit our website at superfoodsforsuperhealth.com. For quality sources of the best alfalfa sprout seeds we can find, be sure and check the links in the description box below this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. And be sure and check out these other related videos.